Her new book, My Book of Treasures, is out now. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the oh-so-lovely Dame Joanna Lumley!
Yeah! Come on! Joanna!
Chris, I'm here.
She's here. She's actually, if you want to see Joanna and myself talking now, just go to the Virgin Radio app and press Watch Live and you can watch it live. What a brilliant book, Joanna.
Oh, Chris, I'm so thrilled that you like it.
I don't like it.
Just
I
the cover
it.
is lovely, isn't it?
The cover is lovely. Joanna Lumley, My Book of Treasures. I mean, you're so clever. You're super clever. You wear your intelligence, your intellect, and your experience, and your education, and your information very lightly on your sleeve. Your house, it says in here, it says at the end, your house is a quiet house. Not because you and your hubby don't get on, but because you're voracious readers.
We read all the time. We read first thing in the morning, newspapers usually, and last thing at night, books. And he, being a musician, is quite often studying scores, which is quiet. It's kind of reading. It's reading music in your head. And I read and write all the time and quietly. But, that's just silly to say that. But the truth is that I love reading. And when I read in silence. I don't have music on or anything in the background, just reading. And
Where do you read? Where's your reading chair?
Anywhere. Well, I've got a little small chair in my study, but that's for an absolute luxury to sit in that. Usually I sit at my desk and pretend I'm not really doing it. People send in a book and say, can you have a look through this and review it or something? And I think, well, I won't have time. And an hour later, you're leaning there and you've been reading it.
You love reading.
I love it. I think I came from a reading family.
Yeah. I didn't read at all. I read one book at school, which was Black Beauty by Anna Sewell, because I had to.
Yes.
But now I love it. I read 5 books last week. I've read 3 books.
Gosh.
I have to read for a living.
Yes.
But when I don't have to read for a living, I read anyway.
Yeah.
And I just adore it. And you can't really force somebody's hand when it comes to reading, can you? You can put books around and in front of them and tempt them maybe without them knowing.
Yes. And I think it's important that people can read easily. It mustn't be a struggle.
Yes.
So I think we should teach our children to read very, very early on. Sit beside them, read aloud to them, make your finger go along the words so their eyes are watching the words.
Yeah, dance.
Exactly. And it becomes easy and nice. And so reading doesn't become a slog because it mustn't become a punishment.
Yeah.
When I was at school, Chris, they used to have learning poetry as a punishment. It was manna to my ears because I just adored poetry and I could learn very quickly.
All the time.
And I'd come back 10 minutes later and say, I learnt that.
And what's lovely about the book is the fact that there's something for everyone in there and something for all kind of moods in there. There's prayer in there, there's poetry in there, there's profundity in there, there's humour in there. It's great. I love Hockney's sort of short essay on smoking, pro-smoking. I love the Ian Fleming exchange, James Bond and the barman, Casino Royale.
Yeah.
Do you talk about them in the first person? Were you involved in Casino Royale?
No, but I did. I read the audiobook.
Right, that's
so it was while we were recording the audiobook.
You were in the mix, weren't you?
And exactly. And I was reading this aloud. How Bond asked for his cocktail to be fixed, and while we were doing it, the whole studio, we all began smacking our lips a bit. We had to turn off the recording. I said, God, this sounds delicious. And we promised that at the end of the day, we'd do exactly this, the Bond cocktail.
And you did?
We did, yeah.
And it's still one of your favourite drinks?
I love it still.
Do you have a regular drink o'clock in the study?
It would be down in the kitchen. So I'd leave my study and Stevie would come up from the music room and in the kitchen. And usually I wait till the yard arm, so the 6 o'clock thing. Yeah. And just about 3 minutes past 6, I think a little gin and tonic.
Yeah. What is it? Once the sun has crossed the yard arm, is that the phrase or something?
It's a nautical thing, and it's about measuring time of day. And the yard arm is obviously some part of the ship.
Yes.
And when the sun has sunk below the yard arm, that means it's the evening time.
And so if you could give us a shopping list of the categories or allude to some of the categories in there, how would you... A mood board for this book?
Well, the thing is that all through my life, Chris, I've been saving things that caught my attention.
Yes.
So either they'd be something that was funny or a little aphorism, something that was quite sober-making, you know, something pretty profound. And I think, I must remember that, so when things go a bit awry. Things that are just funny, things that were just fascinating, ways of remembering the planets or lists of moths' names. I quite like a list occasionally.
You love a list.
I love a list occasionally. And things that, there's a tiny snippet of Ab Fab. There's again that little slip from Casino Royale, bits like that. But then some quite important bits saying when things go badly wrong, what you can do, you know, which is written by profound people.
Yeah.
And I just loved all these things. Anyway, I collected them together. And the very kind publishers, Hodder and Stoughton, who I'd done a book for 2 years before about the Queen, which was again a compilation piece about what other people thought about the Queen, they said, have you got anything we could do here? And I said, well, look, I've collected all this rubbish. And I literally emptied all these bits, fragments and stuff I jotted down and bits hacked out of newspapers and things. And I said, these are all the things. They said, just the stuff. So I assembled this book, and it was quite a thing to do because I wanted to balance it so it wouldn't be all one kind of a thing.
Yes.
So we'd hop to and fro. You'd never know what you were getting next. And some things in it, Chris, are literally one line. Some quotes are just literally a line.
I love this one. No great ecstasy, no great sorrow, and more of the same tomorrow and tomorrow. That's my kind of poetry.
Isn't that lovely?
Isn't
that just divine? And then Frederick Douglass, who said, and this is just on a page of its own, it says, once you learn to read, you will be forever free.
I know.
Isn't that lovely?
So good, so good.
Yeah.
And the people that I was saying earlier on, people who haven't heard of Ralph Waldo Emerson or Walt Whitman, you know, their writing and their thinking, their mindset is so modern. It's frightening. If you go to page 123, Joanna, can you give us a bit of Ralph Waldo Emerson? This was written between 1803 and 1882.
Hang on, just coming to it. Finish each day and be done with it. You've done what you could. Some blunders and absurdities no doubt crept in. Forget them as soon as you can. Tomorrow is a new day. You shall begin it serenely and with too high a spirit to be encumbered with your old nonsense.
That's all you need, isn't it?
Isn't that great?
It's Taylor Swift. It's Shake It Off.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Absolutely.
Unless you have a raging hangover because you've had too many vodka martinis shaken, not stirred.
Yeah.
Can you give us page 140 and 141, either all of both of those or a selection? Because this is like this is very Marcus Aurelius.
This is Reverend Sidney Smith, who wrote to a woman called Lady Georgiana Morpeth, and this was written in 1820. And she was obviously prone to terrible depressions and sadnesses. And he said, dear Lady Georgiana, no one has suffered more from low spirits than I've done, so I feel for you. Here's a list of how to do it. 1, live as well as you dare. 2, go into a shower bath with a small quantity of water at a temperature low enough to give you a slight sensation of cold. Amusing books. Be as busy as you can. Attend to the effects tea and coffee produce upon you. Compare your lot with that of other people. Do good and endeavour to please everybody of every degree. Make the room where you commonly sit gay and pleasant. Keep good blazing fires. Be firm and constant in the exercise of rational religion. Believe me, dear Georgiana, your devoted servant, Sidney Smith.
I mean, that's just great, isn't it?
Sweet?
It's also useful, it's pithy, it's witty. Can you give us... where's the thing about the USS? That's so funny. Where is it? What page are you on? I've got it all marked here. Hang on a second. Where is it? It's towards the end, I think. So the story... Well, we can't actually say what the story is because it's going to give away the punchline, but it's
yes.
It's about the... I should have marked these
Page
better.
88, is it?
It could well be. You're there. Yes, it is page 88. Off you go then.
This is a radio conversation between USS Lincoln and the Canadian authorities off the coast of Newfoundland. Authorities, please divert your course 15 degrees to the south to avoid a collision. Lincoln, recommend you divert your course 15 degrees to the north to avoid a collision. Authorities, negative. You will have to divert your course 15 degrees to the south to avoid collision. Lincoln, this is the captain of the U.S. Navy ship. I say again, divert your course. Authorities, no, I say again, divert your course. Lincoln, this is the aircraft carrier USS Lincoln, the second largest ship in the United States Atlantic Fleet. We are accompanied by 3 destroyers, 3 cruisers, and numerous escort vessels. I demand that you change your course 15 degrees north. I say again, that is 15 degrees north, or countermeasures will be taken to ensure the safety of this ship. Authorities, this is a lighthouse. Your call.
That's so funny. It's so
true.
funny, and it happened. Where did you get that?
Oh, I got it out of a wonderful man called John Julius Norwich, Lord Norwich. He was just an egghead and the funniest man in the world. And he used to do a collection every year called Christmas Crackers.
Wow.
Of just bits and pieces, and he privately published them.
Right, so David Tang. I met David Tang
Oh,
once.
wasn't he fantastic?
Did he live in Regent's Park? Hyde Park.
I think he did, yes.
I think he had a house in Hyde Park. There aren't any houses in Hyde Park apart from this one, and he lives in
David
it.
Tang, and he had that wonderful thing called Shanghai Tang, that beautiful men's clothing
Yes.
shop with fabulous clothes from China.
Which meant he was qualified on page 73 to talk about why you should never wear brown shoes with blue jeans.
Honestly, that's so funny. This is his kind. It's quite a lot of the book, I think, which is funny, Chris, is that it's concerned with snobbery, what people think you should or shouldn't
Yes,
do.
I know.
Nikki Haslam is very funny about that too. But this is from my much missed friend, the brilliant and mercurial David Tang. While, unlike a certain footballer, I would never wear brown shoes with a blue or grey suit, I believe that in a more casual context, brown shoes may be worn with blue jeans. The question that results is, what colour socks should I wear? Not being Italian, no socks is not an option. If you wear brown shoes with blue jeans, says David Tang, you are already 3/4 of the way to looking dodgy. Wear no socks and you will indeed look like an Italian with big emotions, or typically Eurotrash. Wear dark-coloured socks and you will look awkward by trying to appear smooth and failing to do so. Light-coloured socks and you will look effeminate. Coloured or patterned socks and you will look like a contrived Sloane. My advice is not to wear blue jeans with brown shoes at all.
I know, so good. And he was always so well turned out, wasn't
Yes,
he?
absolutely
I mean, what a
immaculate.
sharp dude.
He was a sharp dude.
Yeah.
Very
Those
gorgeous.
characters, I mean, you know, your gang, and lots of them are still with us, thank goodness. And the ones that aren't, their memories and their legacy and their legend will live on forever. I mean, what a cool gang. Is there anything that typifies you lot? Is there a
Oh, you're
sort of...
so sweet to put me in the kind of gang.
Come on, you're as cool
Oh,
as it gets.
come on.
You're as cool as it gets.
Oh, my God. But look, I think that there was a kind of freedom there. I think that quite often at the moment, because we are so restricted, Chris, by the tyranny of phones being there, recording you and filming you and photographing you, that nobody dares just let loose because you're afraid of looking foolish or being sued or doing something. So people are much more afraid now than they were when I was young, and certainly when you were young, because you were a wild boy. But we weren't always conscious of ourselves. We weren't so self-conscious. So you just did what was in your head. You dressed how you wanted. You would say or think or expand in a way that I've noticed people are becoming more and more rigid now. A lot of the girls dress the same and look the same, same hair. People are afraid of stepping out of line for fear of ridicule. And I think that we didn't care about ridicule.
So, I mean, that will break soon, won't it? Because
Yes,
it
well,
always does.
It always does. The pendulum swings, and so it'll go back again.
So that sort of skin of conformity, uniformity will stretch and stretch and stretch, and it will just break in the middle. It has to, doesn't it?
I think it does. And then people will suddenly think, I might cut my hair like this, or I might do that, or I might...
And that would be music of the 60s. It would be the crazy drugs of the 70s. It would be punk, late 70s, early 80s. And we're due an earthquake, aren't we?
A
cultural earthquake.
Because we've been fairly static for quite a long time. A lot of it is because the world is very frightening at the moment. Lots of things are going wrong, and the news every day is very threatening. And therefore, people want to just hold faith. Hang on, not go this way, not go that way. Just hold still, because they're not sure where it's going.
When you say the world is very frightening, of course you are right. It also makes me think of my mum's world, because my mum was in World War II. And she used to say to me a lot of the time, especially when I needed it, you know, love, you and your friends, you don't know you're born. So the world is frightening now, but how frightening was it then?
Well, it was terrifying, particularly in this country where, I mean, in this country, although it's frightening to read the news, but it's not actually terrifying for us. In the days of the war, of course, bombs were dropping on us.
That's what I mean.
And all people your age and the younger people than you, all disappearing off to war, and you'd never know if you see them again.
So do we feel it's more frightening then just because we weren't there? Sorry. Do we feel it's more frightening now just because we weren't there then? Or is every generation's frightening justified?
I think it's a different kind of frightening now. I think there's a new fear, and I think a lot of it's engendered. I'm sorry, I'm so anti-social media, I can't tell you. I think a lot of it brings people down. They're afraid. They're constantly checking and afraid, and they find themselves failing at everything. They're not pretty enough, they're not good enough, they're not rich enough, they haven't got enough, and so that is going on all the time. So instead of building yourself as an ordinary person, not with necessarily high anythings, ideals or money or levels of anything, but just an ordinary, safe person, if you're always checking on your screen, first of all, you're never creating anything. So all your creative juices are being stunted because all you're doing is reacting to what's on the screen.
And not breathing.
You know?
Because there's email apnea. You know
is
that?
there? No.
No, it's a real thing. So apparently, so when you get sleep apnea, you forget to breathe and you temporarily gag, and that's why you snore and all that kind of stuff. And that's why some people have to wear nose strips, and I wear mouth tape and all this kind of stuff. And it's very, it's extraordinarily bad for your health. It can kill you. It can kill you. And apparently, the email apnea is exactly the same. It's a scientific thing. It's backed by scientific evidence. When you look at things that make you anxious, you forget to breathe, and it's the same thing.
Oh my God.
Isn't that interesting?
Yes, it is
and
interesting.
you feel a collective anxiety, don't you? And then when you're in a creative space, a safe creative space, you feel a collective fluidity, fluency, where it feels more creative, but it's just because people are remembering to breathe.
I know. It's becoming, funnily enough, it's becoming more normal. It's becoming more human and more normal. That's why people love being in the outside and huge, great forests or walking by the sea or something. We're ordinary little animals. That's what we are. Once you get out into the animal world, which is grass and trees and forests and woods and flowers and vegetable patches and mud and stuff like that, we don't know why we feel better. It's because that's normal.
Yeah.
What's not normal is sitting and looking at a screen.
Yeah, well, we're with our great teacher, aren't we? She's out there. She's ready to teach us. We just got to remember to attend class, I suppose. Now, obviously, you're big in the animal community. You're a huge supporter of animals. You have been over the years. There's this news about Paignton Zoo today looking for a buyer.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Because of escalating, crippling costs and crippling financial challenges. And they're looking to save £1 million a year. And the Paignton Zoo is officially on the market. So it's the trust that runs it, the charity that runs it, has had to put it up for sale. I mean, what do you think about running a zoo? Where do you go with that? Do you know what I mean?
I don't really like zoos, to tell you the truth.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying.
I think that some big parks are great.
Yeah.
Those safari parks are great for certain animals. So the big deer and those sorts of animals who wander freely and can be safe. But any kind of bears or monkeys or the big cats, they have a terrible time in zoos.
Yeah.
Dismal time. I don't even really like fish in bowls, because fish travel miles every day. If all they've got is nothing but just are alive in a little bit of water.
Yeah.
And I think
it's
birds
a fish prison,
in
but they
cages
haven't committed any crimes.
Committed no crimes, and birds in cages just because they sound nice and look
it's
pretty.
crazy. I mean, we used to have a budgie, but now it's just
you couldn't bear it. So I'm so sorry for Paignton Zoo, but I hope they can rehome the animals and get rid of the zoo.
Yeah.
Actually, and if they could just have it as a place which taught people about animals.
Well, it's a very beautiful. I've looked at some topography of it today. It's got lovely water. It's got very green.
Lovely.
It's a stunning place. I don't know what you do with it.
Yeah.
We've been talking about you the whole show.
Oh my God!
Literally the whole show, because we love you, Joanna. And it's been so. We asked for people with tenuous connections to your fame, as opposed to absolute connections.
Yeah.
So, and the more tenuous, the better. So we had some fun here. Helen says, Joanna Lumley is the voiceover in the museum that I manage, London Mithraeum Bloomberg Space Museum.
Yes.
Yeah. And she can't get enough of you, even though she hears you on loop every day, which is great. Dawn in rainy Dorchester. My friend's daughter and boyfriend think they live in a London flat Joanna owns. Is that possible?
I don't.
Do you have a rental?
No.
No, so that's not true.
No.
I haven't met Joanna Lumley, but when I was at primary school, I was called Purdy by the boys as we used to practice her characters' moves on them. Oh, Purdy! How good was that
adorable.
show? Do you know what? I nearly watched it last night. I ran out of time, but I just wanted to put an episode. I love that programme.
It was so sweet. It was so simple. It was simplistic. It was lovely.
TR7.
Oh, I know. Well, it was a tank to drive.
I know. Well, they were.
I know.
Some people still love them. They adore them. There was a TR8 as well. I don't know if you know that. But do you know where that car is? Is it around? Was there more than one?
No, I never know. And it would only come on special days, for the days that I was filming it. And I go, oh, no, this damn car again. And it was like a truck, and it had no power steering. So trying to turn corners.
Check out any poster or any image of the new Avengers, because it's so cool. I mean, how big? I remember how big that show was as a viewer. How big was it to be in it? How famous were you?
It changed my life. I mean, I was filming it for 2 years, so I wasn't really out and about. I was just on first call every day at Pinewood Studios. But then I noticed that people would have this short cut hair. Yeah. The Purdy kind of bob, it was called. It was supposed to be like a boy's haircut, and suddenly people would stop me in the street and know my name, and that had never happened before. I was 30. I wasn't a baby.
Did you feel cool?
No,
because you were so cool.
No, I didn't feel cool at all.
You were like Mary Quant, Jean Shrimpton cool.
So no.
Come on, you must.
Come on.
How many did you make?
26 episodes.
Is that all you made?
26-hour-long episodes.
So I could watch them all this weekend, couldn't I?
I don't think so.
I
Chris.
could. I would
You'd
love
go
that.
mad.
Do you think they're slower than we remember them now?
Yes, much slower. Everything's slower. When you look at old anything, it takes its time, and nowadays they wouldn't, because of social media, we're used to things change.
Yeah.
And so they'd cut. But I think sometimes it earns its keep.
Joanna Lumley went to my parents' wedding in 1966. They were old family friends. She wore a fabulous mini dress and a Stetson and very nearly upstaged as a bride. Do you remember going to a wedding in a mini dress and a Stetson in 1966?
Probably, yes.
What was that like? What was it like being... I mean, I was born in 66, right? So I don't remember it at all. Of course, I was just born.
Yeah.
What was it like? What was that like? Because long question.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier on, weren't we? So the team behind the glass, their average age is 24, right? And they are having, Joanna, all the fun. And I said, oh my God, I remember 24, 25, 26, Belsize Park, you know, all the bottles of Dos Equis, all the monkey nuts, all the Gypsy Kings, just all day, you know, and if you got a bit too much, go over for sleep and go out again that night. Yeah. And they said, yeah, but you're having a great time now still, aren't you, Chris? This is today. Yeah. I went, not as good as then. I have a lovely life now. I'm very grateful. Yeah. More than I deserve. But it's not as good as it was then.
Yes, but you are not the same person as you were
No, I know
then.
that. I know all the caveat.
Yeah.
But it was great. Right. So the same question that they were asking me, from me to you about 1966.
It was fantastic. It was the time London had become kind of the centre of the universe as far as pop music, clothes, hairstyles, coolness,
the zeitgeist,
fashion, fabness. It was sensational. I was a model, so I was bang in the middle of all of it. I wasn't like a top model, but I was never out of work. Knew all the photographers. Everybody hung out everywhere. The great thing was that there was
Where was everywhere?
Well, there were places like the Marquee. I mean, around central London was really the hot place. Yeah. Of course, there were groups who came from Liverpool. Of course, hardly have to say their names, and Manchester and so on, Birmingham. But London was the hot boiling spot of it all. And Soho and Chelsea and around there was where all the studios were.
Was it on fire?
The cool little nightclubs were. And when a nightclub opened, everybody would turn up. So the Four Tops would turn up, and the Rolling Stones would turn up, and the Beatles would turn up. They'd all turn up in human beings and walk around and be there. But it just doesn't happen nowadays because people are so precious. People are so important and so precious.
Well, there aren't any bands anyway. I mean, you know, the last band to have a number one, I think only 2 bands have had number ones in the last 20 years. It's something crazy. It's solo artists. By the way,
Why is that?
Bring on the solo artists. Because there are more solo artists and people follow solo artists more. I don't know. It's the answer, I suppose. So that was the rock and roll. So actors-wise, you know...
actors, there are cool...
O'Toole around, Harris
also,
around.
And Finney and Tom Courtney and all those young ones, Julie Christie, Terence Stamp, all those David Hemmings, those giant names, they were all out there being fabulous.
And around.
They were around.
And not members clubs that you can't get into, just pubs and bars.
You'd sit here and then sitting over there in the restaurant would be Omar Sharif.
What kind of restaurant? What restaurants are we talking?
These are mostly Italian restaurants. There were places up and down the King's Road, and they were just regular Italian restaurants, but Italian restaurants are very cool. There wasn't half the amount of places there are today. Yeah. So there would be an Indian, a Chinese, and Italian restaurants.
Loads of Italian restaurants.
Loads of Italian restaurants.
All right. Sean Milton Keynes. Even calling met Joanna Lumley when she caught me stealing fruit from the fruit and veg shop in Crouch End where we both lived. This was about 50 years ago. Joanna marched me into the shop, to hand the fruit back and say sorry. As I stole a piece of fruit and tried to run away, I fell over, and as I tried to get up, Joanna was standing over me. Is that the kind of thing you would have done?
I don't know.
I think you would have done.
So frightening.
It's a faux citizen's arrest, isn't it?
I think it is, yes.
Yeah, I like that. Jackie in Welsh says, I sat on a window ledge at Christie's auction house in London with Joanna Lumley having a sneaky ciggy back in the late 90s. Would that be about right as well?
Yeah, it could be well.
Yeah, I love an auction. Yeah. Do you still love an auction?
Yeah, I try not to. Literally, I would honestly mortgage the house to get stuff.
If I go, I'm in trouble.
I can't stop.
The only way I cannot resist is by just not going.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing to do.
That's the way. Tracy Nahernbay, my best friend's daughter threw up on Joanna Lumley when she was a baby. Do you remember that? How could one forget?
When she was a baby or I was a baby.
That's what I said
exactly.
earlier on. That's what my sentiments exactly.
Yeah.
I was listening to this interview. I've talked about it to you off the air with Michelle Pfeiffer recently. And I think, you're like her, she's like you. You're absolutely gorgeous, but you're cooler than you're gorgeous, and you're more talented than you're cool. And you're both pretty similar, I think, as far as that's concerned. She started off occupational life, as a stenographer in a courtroom.
Did she?
Yes. And I was wondering, Joanna, did you ever? I mean, I'm presuming you didn't stenograph.
No, I didn't.
Did you? What other stuff did you get up to?
I was a shop assistant.
Right.
In holidays from school. And learned how to wrap up. I can still wrap you a very nice parcel.
I bet you can.
Tie it with string and do the ribbons so that they curl. Then my very first job was as a house model. Was in a shop where you had to walk about the floor. In the shop wearing clothes, like a model.
Yeah.
So these were quite sort of humble things.
That was a thing, wasn't it? That was a big thing.
Yeah, you walked around and you'd see somebody walking about in a slightly creepy manner and you go, who's that? Oh, it must be a model. Because you'd be quite tall and you'd have huge eyelashes and so on, be done up.
See, I think that's would be quite a punk move nowadays, because obviously there's a lot of shopping online and they call retail spaces now vertical spaces because they don't really make as much money because of the cost and things. Yeah. But lots of bigger sort of online brands have physical spaces as almost living billboards.
Yes.
And I think bringing back the models would be a great idea, wouldn't it?
I think it's a great idea because when this is the fashion season, and the shows have just finished here and are now going on in France or in Italy. The fashion shows are so brief. They're 15 minutes. You don't see anything and they've gone. And you only maybe see the models going past once.
And they cost a fortune to put on.
They cost a fortune. But if you saw that gorgeous person or gorgeous boy looking just wonderful in clothes and just mooching about and sitting and being cool and everything, you think, God, that jacket looks really great. You'd have time.
And they've already paid for the whole thing anyway.
Exactly.
So get more money out of it. I mean, it wouldn't be cool to do it, but it'd be cost effective, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer, her big break, your big break was New Avengers. Her big break was Grease 2.
Oh, gosh.
Her first ever job, her first ever lines on the telly were in Fantasy Island. And she only had one line. What was the first line you ever spoke on camera?
It was in a film called Some Girls Do, Richard Johnson, Dahlia Lavi, and it was a Bulldog drummed film, and I was in it, and I had to say, yes, Mr. Robinson.
That was it?
Yeah. That got me my equity card, because I spoke on camera.
So was it parallel acting and modelling?
No, I gave up modelling. I did it for 3 years, that's all.
Were you acting whilst modelling, or at least wanting to be an actress, or is that something?
I never wanted to be a model, but I didn't know how to be I didn't know anything.
Did you always want to be an actress?
Yeah, since about 7. Yeah. No, I always wanted not to work. And I thought acting was better than working. I thought it was magic.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to do it because I loved it. I loved pretending to be other people. I loved disappearing from myself and becoming somebody else. I was quick at learning lines. I liked being with people who were amusing and nice and fun. I liked the changeability. See, there was no security. I loved the lack of security. The idea that you could move on and be in work or out of work, hit the jackpot or fall miserably into the gutter. I loved that. Following the circus.
Kate Blanchett says something that I think you chime. She says, she didn't say this is why I'm a great actress. Somebody else said Kate Blanchett, you're a great actress. And then the conversation carried on, and then she said this. She said, "Well, you see, the thing is, I'm not the least bit interested in myself." And I thought, wow.
Yes.
And I believe her.
Yeah.
And that's why she's such a great actress, because she doesn't get in her own way.
That's right.
I sense the same about you.
Well, she has no vanity, and this is why she's convincing. She's no vanity. Unfortunately, we're encouraged at the moment to think about ourselves all the time. Explore yourself, examine your feelings.
The selfie.
All the selfish self stuff, me time, because you're worth it and all this. Weirdly enough, it only brings boredom and misery in the end. If you can think out, look out, and your days will be happier. It's very simple, kind of granny. I'm a granny. And so I'm always giving granny tips to people. Yes. If you cannot think about yourself, you'll be miles happier. That's all I can say.
When you say you're a granny, does that mean you're a great granny?
No. Just a you're a granddad.
Yeah, I love it.
I love it.
It's the best,
love
isn't
it.
Michelle has just turned granny.
Has she?
Yeah,
it's so
she talks all about it all the time.
It's what we're meant to be. It's what we are meant to be.
It's funny because it has been proven, there is analysis and evidence of, the more a person uses I, me or mine in an email, the more susceptible to depression they are.
Well, there you are. How interesting. Oh my God, how interesting.
Yeah. More love for Lumley. Can you stop it? Can you seriously? A guest can have too much love. Lisa from Windsor. Can you please ask Joanna if she is the voiceover on the Stansted Express?
No, I'm not.
No, but she's available.
But I'm available.
Forever available. We're all available, aren't we? Yeah. It was most comforting and made my journey very pleasant. She's my ultimate hero, a true icon. Well, somebody else has got those mellifluous, soothing tones, as well as we call you J-Lum now.
J-Lum.
You happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Nick in Cardiff. Morning, Chris. Great chat with Joanna.
Lovely.
Love her. I had a purdy haircut back in the late 70s.
Oh, so sweet.
I mean, presumably one could go in and ask for a purdy.
You could then. Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. What happened after New Avengers? Because the bar was high, expectations were great.
I went into Sapphire and Steel with Dave McCallum. I just stepped from one into the other.
Wow.
Yeah.
Linda says, love Jolo.
Oh, Lolo. So good. So sweet.
Now, fabulously happy day. Val says, Chris, this is a stratospherically high bar, but Dame Joanna is the top of the tree.
Oh, darling,
it's
wow,
great,
very gorgeous.
Dan the Spark says, I haven't met Joanna Lumley, but my old German teacher was called Dave Lumley. There you go. Are there Lumleys?
There are quite a lot of Lumleys around. Yeah, there are. There's a place up in near Chesterley Street which is called Great Lumley, and most of the Lumleys came from Lumley. That's where they got. And there's a Lumley Castle up there.
I love
and
that.
we all around the world, and they're all in all nations. There are Lumleys. Not an enormous number, but they are there.
You're in a great mood, aren't you? I can tell.
Yeah.
You're always in a great mood. I love the name Chesterley Street. I just like saying it.
I know.
Chesterley Street. It sounds very sort of Jersey, Guernsey kind of.
It does, because it's got that slight French quality to it.
Yeah. I mean, there's the only place name in the UK that comes close to Chesterley Street, or the other way around for me, is Ashby's.
Ashby de la Zouche.
Ashby de la Zouche. Thank you for helping me out there.
Ashby de la Zouche. What's
Ashby de la
that about?
Zouche.
Please.
Largely on the old place name front.
No, fantastic.
What else is going on with you?
Oh, just
you cool cat.
busy. I'm just about to start another series of Amandaland, which was the spin-off from Motherland, which was a gorgeous, wild success. Clever Lucy Punch.
Yes.
And we're just about to start 7 more episodes. One is a Christmas special for this year.
Oh.
Then 6 episodes. Then I go zimming back to Ireland, where we're shooting Wednesday, the great Netflix Wednesday.
Of course you are.
And so we've got 8 months of that next year.
Wow.
It's huge.
That's with Tim.
That's with Tim Burton.
Tim Burton, of course.
And lovely General Ortega and beautiful Catherine Zeta-Jones and a cast to die for. Yeah. And it's getting bigger and bigger. So this season 2 has just dropped and been seen.
My kids love
do they?
it. They adore it. It's huge, isn't it? What's the vibe like in Ireland?
The vibe, well, it's extraordinary. They took Netflix bought an old studio called Ashford Studios, which is about an hour and a bit south of Dublin in the Wicklow Mountains, and they built virtually Nevermore School there. So and Tim being Tim, everything is the right size and the right scale and real. So fires burn and wooden tables are there and ghouls and bones hang off things and skeletons crack out. I mean, it's
just all the fun.
Astonishing.
Somebody said to me recently that as one gets older in their line of work, which is your line of work, and they have achieved a certain success and they've got enough to put bread on the table probably for the rest of their days. It's all about the director. Because the director cracks the whip and it's their show and you want to be part of their gang or you don't. And it doesn't matter how good the script is. Yeah. If the main man or woman in charge...
Exactly. This is Tim Burton's vision. This is his vision. And, of course, it's a sort of Harry Potter set up in that it's a school with various sort of strangely gifted children. Yeah. Not a lot of parents. Quite a lot of the grown-ups are pretty so grim. In this case, we've got the Wednesday's parents. Wednesday and Pugsley are the children of Morticia and Gomez. Yeah. And I'm the grandmother. Yeah. Suddenly they invented, or maybe she was there already, Hester Frump, the grandmother. And she's ghastly. She made her money out of cemeteries.
She's ghastly.
Cemeteries and funeral parlours. And it's going to get... And Series 3 is promising to be colossal.
I think ghastly is probably the adjective you've said the most in your life because you say it so well. And if I said it as well as you, I would use it every other word. Right, quickly, more of this. Sorry, Joanna, I've got to squeeze the most out of you as I can because everybody loves you. Andy, I remember selling country clothes, flat caps, etc. to Joanna from Swains in Tenterden,
How
Kent,
lovely. I
in the
remember.
late 70s.
Yes, quite right.
Claire says, totally captivated by what Joanna is saying. I know I'm going to love her book. What a legend Joanna is. One of my favourite ever screen actors and characters is Patsy, just genius. Yeah, you talk lovingly about Patsy.
Yes,
in
I
the book as well.
adore.
Yeah. Thorpe says, gosh, I could just listen to Dame Joanna Lumley all day. The Dame Show, the great Dame Show that you all put on a couple of years back. How much fun was that at the Palladium?
That was Giles Brandreth, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He herded together like a slightly unwieldy flock of sheep. We were all called dames. We were all sort of shooed into the room. And our only common thing was that most of us were performers, actresses mostly, and we were all dames. Honestly, Chris, when I was given that damehood, I sat and cried. I was on my own when I opened the
let's
letter.
have the chat. We talked to Gary Oldman this week.
Oh, did you?
Freshly knighted. He wasn't 24 hours old as a knight, and he came on the show, and he told us all about when he gets the whisper and all this kind of stuff. Tell us about yours.
Well, I was sitting at home. I'd got an OBE in 1996, and I was already so stunned to have such an award. It seemed to me the best thing in the world. And I was at home alone because Stevie was conducting somewhere, and this letter came, and it looked official, and in your heart goes, oh, what have I done now? And I opened it up, and it said, we are minded, or whatever the lovely formal thing is to make you a dame. And for some reason, I just utterly burst into tears. I cried my eyes out. It was such an honour, so completely unexpected. Something you'd never even think about, or you don't dream of things like that. It doesn't cross your horizon.
Yeah.
And then when I actually went and got it, and I was given it at Buckingham Palace by Princess Anne, who I admire hugely, so that was a great treat. And when I got, and it was only a small ceremony, hardly any, 24 people there. So it wasn't like the big ones where they have the whole ballroom there and bands playing and everything. This was really quiet. And there was the Princess Royal smiling so sweetly and giving such a grin. And I've choked up and I couldn't say a word. And I said, I can't speak. And she said, never mind, never mind. And I went outside into the great gallery with the great paintings by Rembrandt and everything. Stevie was there. And I just howled. I cried my heart out. It was such an honour.
Where were the tears coming from?
From, I tell you exactly where, from being a model. And when I started acting, everybody said, oh, you're only a model, you can't ever act. You'll never learn lines, you'll be nothing. You'll never be anything. You'll never be anything. And so it came from that.
Well, you showed them.
I know, wasn't it?
Well, you showed them without showing them. Because if you went out to show them, you wouldn't have done it. Because that's,
no.
The best revenge is to not be like that.
Not be like that, and just try your hardest. Just say, well, I'm going to do my best. I'll learn you watch, I'll learn lines. I'll do it. I won't let you down. I won't let you down.
You do allude to revenge in the book. It's not this quote, it's similar. My favourite quote, revenge dish best served cold.
Yes.
The best revenge is to not be like that. If you're seeking revenge, you better dig 2 graves.
Yes. That's extraordinary.
It's similar in your book, isn't it?
And Nelson Mandela saying revenge is like giving poison, taking poison yourself and hoping it kills your enemy or something like that.
That's exactly what you say.
I know.
Expecting the other person to die.
Expecting the other person. I know. What it means is that don't get caught up with evil and bad thoughts because you're the ones it'll destroy.
Control the controllables. It's none of my business what other people think of me. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Can you talk about music?
Yes.
We'll finish with this because obviously music is huge in your quiet house. How ironic that music is, because music is huge in your quiet house because your husband is studying or writing manuscripts.
I know.
Which is so funny, isn't it? Because it's music, but it's the quietness it's the quietude where music comes from. It's the stillness and the peace. It's the source.
I do a kind of tribute to music in this because of course it's so much part of our life. When I say our house is silent, of course, when we've got the music roaring and everything happening, it's just sensational.
Before you end with that little reading, let me just remind people what you're reading from. Joanna Lumley, My Book of Treasures, a collection of favourite writings. And this could have gone either way. It could have been a cut and paste, let's get something out for Christmas kind of thing. It is the opposite of that. And if you see it in the bookshop, just have a little look, leaf through the first pages, and you'll know exactly what I mean. The thing about being surrounded by books is there's all the words in all those books. And that's why being around books is so comforting and so sort of reassuring. It's a secure and safe space because all those words are there.
always there.
And clearly this is from all those words.
They're at your speed and they're in your head.
Oh.
It's just magic, isn't it?
All right, let's have a big pre-round of applause for Joanna Lumley, because we're going to go straight into as she talks about music. Joanna Lumley, Dame Joanna Lumley, it's over to you.
For what?
The music bits.
Oh, the music. You want me to read?
Sorry.
This is what...
it was going so well.
This is... I literally
fault.
didn't pick up my cue. Oh, look, I'm so sorry. Can we start that again?
Okay,
No, yes.
cut, number ones, number twos, what are your positions when you retake as a retake on set? What do you say?
Oh, I don't know. Positions, please.
Positions, please. And
Yes.
camera speed. And, okay, sound and action.
When words cease, music begins, said the marvellous Hoffman. And truly, music is a thing too vast and deep to grasp in language, but one must serve it and respect it always with humility. To me, says Maria Callas, singing is not an act of pride, but rather an attempt to reach those heavens where all is perfect harmony.